welcome to Coming Home with Mama T. I'm your host Tiara, aka Mama T, and on this podcast we explore the journey of creating the life of our desires through mastering manifestation, maintaining a positive mindset, and living luxuriously, whatever that authentically looks like and feels like for you. As a mindset mastery and spiritual coach, I love to help you define and align and be radically self-responsible for living a fulfilling life. So today I want to talk to you about movement, which is why we are shifting around a little bit, because I want to get some steps in. I gotta if I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to walk about it. All right. So I'm going to get some steps in while we're doing this, because I am about, let's double check for posterity's sake, I'm about 3,000 steps away from my goal for the morning. I like to get 10,000 steps in before noon, which really, it makes me feel good. And I'm doing it while I'm networking and connecting with people on my phone. I'm setting intentions and doing all that good stuff. And so I'm matching it with other things as I'm walking around my apartment. Sometimes I'll take time to go upstairs to our rooftop and walk around there, create content. So I'm doubling up. So I'm getting my steps and getting some work done at the same time. Insanity, right? So I love it. And why is movement so important? We're all in this physical form. We have these bodies, right? And it doesn't mean you have to kill yourself and be super in pain and do all these things. No, I'm talking about just organic movement, making sure that we're not stuck at a desk all day, making sure that we're not sitting in a car all day, but we're actually doing what our bodies are meant to do, which is move, shake it, dance it, something, I don't know, lift some weights, do what makes you happy, right? So you got to find what feels naturally good for you when it comes to movement. I know for myself, I love walking. Walking is great. It's a great way to get some steps in. It's a great way to see the world, meet new people, all sorts of fun stuff. It's great for your cardio. It is a lifelong activity. So as long as you're wearing proper footwear and you're not going super crazy, you can easily just do what I'm doing right here. Stand up and start stepping. I also have a little treadmill that I put under my desk if I'm really working at my desk and I want to just raise my desk up and get some steps in, so I'm not stuck at my in my seat, but I'm actually still moving my body while I'm getting work done. I understand that time is of the essence, as we say, so it's great, right? But it's super, super important, because if we don't use it, we lose it. Whether it's our mind, our body, our spirit, if we're not connected, we lose all of that. So like I was saying in the beginning, I like to intentionally, all right, cool. I'm getting 10,000 steps right now. I'm gonna start walking, maybe doing some laps through my apartment. I'm gonna do stuff like this, and I'm gonna talk, and I'm gonna walk, and I'm gonna have a good time. I put on some good music. I figure because I'm currently recording this podcast, I turn my music off, but I'll turn on my YouTube channel on my TV and just have a little dance party, get in the zone, auto zone, and move, shake it, ay. And it raises your vibration. It's endorphin boosting. It's something in your neurological pathways. I'm not a scientist, but I don't know the full biology terms for it, but it's good for your mind. And it's good for your body. It's good for your heart. So move. All I gotta say is move, which is why I make it a component to the home membership, right? On a spiritual aspect, our bodies hold energy. Yes. So if we've been through moments of trauma and turmoil and things like that, we all have things, whether it's a big T trauma, big things that you don't want to really lean into maybe. You've got little things that maybe someone said something mean to you when you were a kid, and it's hiding in some little spot in your body. We all hold onto that that contractive energy. So movement can really help us to shake it out. Yeah, if you've never looked up somatic movement, highly recommend looking into that. And it talks about really moving your body, shaking your body in a way that loosens your parasympathetic nervous system. Yeah, if you look at animals, for example, if you see a deer, maybe a deer is running across the road and they almost get hit, but they evade the car, and then you'll notice that they shake. They'll shake as they get off like the road, I'm like, ah, that was crazy, right? And they shake. And the reason they shake is because they were afraid, but they're not trying to hold on to that fear. They're trying to go and like find the other deer that they were looking for, whatever made them run across the road, maybe get to another patch of grass. They're shaking it off, right? They're shaking it off. They're removing that energy so that they can keep moving. They're not like us humans that really overanalyze what feels. They go by heart and nature, right? They just go by nature. Like, I'm here to stay safe. I'm here to get some food. I'm here to like connect with another deer and procreate. Like, these are the things. This is what's driving their life, right? And so they're not holding on to like, oh, what Susie Q said something bad about me. She said that my antlers weren't big enough. Well, you know what? I got the baddest antlers here. Like, no, they're not doing all that. They don't have time. They don't care, right? They don't care. They don't put meaning onto these things. So they don't hold on to it. They shake it off and keep it moving. Like Taylor Swift, like, shake it off, shake it off. So this is why we as humans also need to move. Movement helps us to move energy. If you've ever felt like sad and down, or maybe like super angry and gone for like a run, I would never. I walk, I don't run. But like, or go for a lift, I would lift it out. Lift or dance or whatever. Like, have you noticed that you feel different afterwards? You do. At least I do, right? So it moves our energy. It helps us to physically process. Sometimes we focus on the mental processing of it all, and we don't process it physically, and then our bodies still hold on to these feelings and these emotions, and we're just perpetuating cycles because we're holding on to this vibration. Yes. So I bring it into the home membership because I find it to be super, super important. And that space is built on the idea of nurturing the mind, the body, and the spirit. Yes. So we work together and in a holistic way to make sure that we have supported ourselves enough that we can really believe in ourselves and take action and be radically self-responsible for living a fulfilling life, right? A fulfilling life, what does that look like? What does that mean? Fulfilling, like you're happy, right? Not necessarily, not this like delusional, I'm always happy, I have no other emotion, I will not allow myself to be low vibrational. No, we're not talking about toxic positivity over here. We know this is not my vibe. That's not what I'm here for. We acknowledge our feelings and we learn to like love them, say thank you for the lesson, and move. We learn how to get back and maintain a positive mindset, be able to look at life with a perspective of like, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I expand from this and go? But we're not looking to like, be like, I will never be angry again. I will only be sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns, because that's not life, right? That's just not what it is. So we honor and we acknowledge all the aspects of ourselves, but we also know that and choose to be happy, right? Like, let happy be an overarching theme in our lives and still experience the other things. Yes, this is why I make this a membership, because we are going to constantly face different stages and opportunities for growth, expansion, and leadership. It's not like a one and done thing. This is a lifelong experience. Unless you're like a nomad, you have a home, and that home is like your space. But even if you are a nomad, like your home is like your heart. Yeah. So I love that it's virtual, so you can take it along with you, right? Wherever you go. Your home is in your phone, your computer, your tablet, your whatever, right? So it's beautiful. So how do you like to move? That is my question. How do you like to move? Do you like to dance? Do you like to walk? Do you like to lift weights? Do you like to do yoga? I will tell you, I could not stand yoga when I was first introduced to it. It was annoying to me, and why it was annoying to me was mostly because it was hard. To be wholly honest, it was like get into this position, and I had a mindset that I thought I'm super flexible. Like I believed in my ability to move and like get into like positions and like kick my legs up and do whatever, and I felt inferior when I got onto that mat, and so like I really didn't like it. And then I also was introduced to yoga in a way that was a lot of like stagnant movement. Like you get into a pose and you hold it for like a minute and it was uncomfortable and like hard. And so I just hated it. Then I learned about more like vinyasa and flow, where you might hold a pose for an extended period of time, but a lot of times you move through the pose into another pose and it's almost like a dance. And I also found it to be so helpful because it brings you really into the body, right? Because it's quiet. Yes, there's like some nice little like maybe nature sounds or whatever being played. There is the voice of your instructor who typically has a nice flowy, like really relaxing voice, and you are invited to really connect into your body. What hurts, what twinges. Maybe you aren't being able to do the handstand like the instructor's doing or advanced Pete over here, but like what can you do in your body and honoring your body. And so it really made me focus on, let's stop looking in the mirror and trying to like compare ourselves to other people, but really like it's you and me over here, you and me in this mirror, and we are connecting in, and I am going to like learn, I'm going to get better, I'm going to grow, I'm going to experience this. And that's why that's what I love about it, right? It has been a journey and a practice, right? And that's why they call it a yoga practice. It's a practice in self-love and connection. So that's what I love about yoga and why it's different to me than other workout methodologies or styles or whatever word you want to use. I used to super love lifting, for example, but like for me, like lifting was very like disassociated. I put in some like loud music. I usually, like if you ever saw me in the gym when I was lifting, like I wasn't going to stop and say hi to you. Like I might be like, and then like keep it moving. Like I did not want to stop and talk to anybody in the gym. I hated partnering with anybody that liked to like take a long time and be like, all right, girl, what do you got going on? Da, 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 da. Like, and like, oh, look at that boy over there. I am here to work. Okay. So like, that was just never my like lifting. So I was just like very disassociated. Let's put up some weight. And yeah, I would focus on like my form so I didn't hurt myself, but it wasn't really about, I wasn't as connected, right? It just didn't feel like a spiritual experience, which I feel is what yoga is. Like lifting is just like, this is badassery right now. This is what we're doing. We're throwing up some weight. We're squatting it low. We're putting on like the most ratchet music and like pumping it out. Yeah. And it felt great. It was awesome. It definitely is like a connection to my rugby days. And I feel like that version of me, but it's not the version of me that I look to be right now. Maybe I'll go back to lifting sometime in the future, but right now I'm in this like soft, sensual, connect with the body age. This is my era, right? So like what's not gonna make me super sore for like 13 days straight, right? So we're gonna walk. We're gonna do yoga, maybe play a little pickleball, get some community things going. We're gonna dance. I always love dance as a workout. Hey. People like to act like it's not, but like, if you're sweating and you're having fun, what's wrong with that? Why? Because it doesn't work. You didn't work too hard. Whatever. If you're moving, shaking, and a lot of times the movements are meant to like engage the core. If you're doing it right? You get a little low. That's engaging your quadriceps, your hamstrings. Getting that booty work in. You can do all that stuff, right? You don't need the weight to do it unless you want to, right? So all I just say is we get to figure out what feels good for us. And just because something feels good, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, hey, yesterday, doesn't necessarily mean we have to do it today, right? We can shift and change and listen to our bodies, honor our bodies. If we're in pain, don't do the thing that makes you in pain. Give yourself space to rest. There is just as much information and importance to the resting part as there is to the movement part. Going back to lifting, right? Your body needs time for your tissues to rebuild so you can build the muscle. So doing arms every single day and skipping leg day is not the way. Nobody wants puny legs, okay? But all that to say, Seriously. So like, that's why a lot of times you'll see people, all right, today is a back and traps day. Today is a chest and, I don't know, chest and arms day, biceps day. Today is like leg day. We're going to focus on the glutes and the quads and the hamstrings. We're going to focus on the calf muscles, right? And you have those separate days, right? Because your body is going to need time for those muscles to heal. And then you can focus on something else while you're letting those muscles heal if you want to. So rest day. Rest day doesn't necessarily mean sit on the couch and don't do anything. Yeah. Like I said, I like to get my 10,000 steps in the morning, but that before noon, I still have so many more hours in the day. So a good day for me is like anywhere between like 15 to 20,000 steps. So I don't just like, oh, I hit my 10,000 steps, let me just sit down. No, a lot of times because I've gotten to this habit of like standing up and being on my phone while I'm like doing work or standing up and doing whatever, I find myself just standing up and doing that naturally, or, standing up and putting something on TV and just like walking while I'm watching the TV, getting my steps in while I'm waiting for something on the stove, and in between stirring, I might like do a little this, do a little that, right? Get more steps in and keep it moving. The people that live super long lives, like if you look at the Blue Zones is a great, documentary on Netflix, and it talks about these regions of the world where people are living like well into their 90s, maintaining their mental faculties and having less diseases. And what are the things that they're doing? And it's mind, body, and spiritual work, right? They're moving. They're not going necessarily to a gym to move, though. They are actually, they build their lifestyle around movement. They walk to the market. They walk to church. They walk to hang out with their friends. They walk around. They might play, a sport that is a lifelong sport like pickleball, or go swimming, or, go to the gym, whatever. But when I was watching it, it felt like a lot of the movement was just organic movement that happened in their day-to-day lives, and not necessarily a scheduled time to move and then they sat down for the rest of the day, which I feel like is a very prominent thing, especially in like the American world and the way that we set up our lives in terms of, working in front of a computer for 8 hours a day, and then like, go to the gym for maybe an hour or so, and then, come back home and sit and eat Doritos, right? Like it's a very common practice, but I love the aspect of organic movement throughout the day. One thing that stands out to me is the idea of not sitting on like chairs or couches, but actually like sitting on the floor, like having mats and stuff. That was like one of I think it was Okinawa, Japan. They sit on mats. And so you're basically they're getting so many squats in every single day just because they sit on the floor and they have to get up and get down and get up and get down and get up and get down and get up and get down. And it's good for their bodies. I have one friend, she'll just like, sometimes we're like, sitting around our kitchen or our living room or whatever. We're like in the kitchen area. So, our couches or whatever are in the living room area. So she'll sometimes just like do this little squat. And we're like, you're Asian squatting over here, aren't you? And she's like, yeah, this is what I do. I'm super comfortable. All right. I'm like, do you want a chair? No, I'm good. And she's like that. And I'm like, man, I want my like knees and my ankles and my body to like work that way. But that's a practice. Like, she's used to it. Yeah. And we can develop these practices for ourselves to get ourselves into better shape, not like a supermodel or like trying to look on like a magazine, but in a shape that's like good for us, a shape that is free of pain, a shape that is building longevity and joy into our lives. Yes. So that was like an epic experience. And I'll talk more about like the food aspect, because that's another thing that was super important to me that I got out of that documentary. I'll do that on another video, because that is also another component that I'm bringing into the home membership, because I feel like it's super important. We focus on not just the mind, but the body, this vessel, this beautiful vessel that we get to bring with us on this life's journey. We have to take care of it. we have to love on it. Yes? No matter what shape, size, color, skin, whatever you look like it doesn't matter. What matters is that we like lean into it. We love it. We invest time and energy to show it the respect it deserves because it is carrying us through this life's journey. So movement. What are you gonna do to move today? Let me know in the comments. What are you gonna do to move today? Where was I? Oh, well, look at that. I got about 2,000 steps during this conversation. So look at that, 20 minutes, 2,000 steps. I probably could have done it a lot faster if I wasn't talking to you guys. But with that, thank you so much for listening. If you have not signed up for the home membership, why not? This is a beautiful opportunity to become a founding member of a community that is going to help support each other in living extraordinary lives, holding each other accountable to be radically self-responsible for taking control of our lives. We get to be the creators of our experience. We are the authors of our lives. So let's work on our minds, our bodies, our spirits. Let's offer ourselves the support and the nurturing that we need so that we can move forward. And as a founding member, it's even better because you get more access to each other. It's an opportunity to connect on a deeper level because as we grow and thrive, like right now, it's brand new. You get to be one of the first. Like a year from now, there could be 100 something people in there and it's gonna feel a little different. It's still gonna be a great, wonderful space, but it's gonna feel different. So this is an opportunity for you to really help cultivate and shape this sacred space, connect more with me, have more one-on-one time in that kind of space with me because it's smaller, right? And we're only gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I invite you to join the home membership. You can go to www.MamaTEnergy.com. At the top of the banner, click the membership button, read more about it, subscribe. You can subscribe on a monthly basis, or you can pay for the full year up front, whichever way works for you. And I will catch you on the next one.